Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm gonna rule the world or I'm gonna change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world.
Mercedes, the mellow, quite a nice fellow. Met 3T, hit a rhyme acapella. Now I don't wanna hurt nobody, I must offend mine. I'm going out of my mind, from the cradle to the grave. One man, drowning in the quicksand. Put my nigga down with my foolproof plan. All the other avenues that we tried was blocked. So it's time to put in work with the 10 million clock. And in no time flat, had the fucking money sacked. I'm with guard and on, 100 G's in my arms. All thanks to my nigga, who took the most risk, even though I was a little bigger.
935 K-Day, CC, and Romeo. I'm so excited. Rome, this is a big moment for me. You already know.
Yeah, man.
I'm super excited. We have Mopreme Shakur in here, Tupac's brother. First of all, thank you so much for making the time to come and visit our little morning show, because we really do highly respect you, and we're excited.
Oh, peace and blessings. Love to everybody on the west side. CC, Romeo, J-Dub, the whole K-Day fam. You know what I'm saying?
I heard
we
that.
Came up
just
together.
say this, and when you walked in, we were playing Tupac. It was just ironic that it was on when you walked in. So
As you should.
Sets the whole
Hey, yo, that's my
here.
theme music, yo.
Wow.
Dear mama. Yes, I love it. And you know,
Tupac is my theme music.
we all have memories, okay? We all have memories of Tupac through his music. But I want to ask you specifically, because nobody got memories like you do. What is one of your favorite memories that you're always going to remember about your brother?
Sugar Honey Iced Tea. I got quite a few.
Yeah.
But I will never, you know, in the early days, I will never forget when Keep Your Head Up was #1, performing with Pac, Keep Your Head Up, while I was #1 live on stage, all across the country. You know what I'm saying? The love from the people for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful feeling. You know, sometimes we handed out roses. You know, Pac was, you know what I'm saying? Pac was with the ladies, you know what I mean?
Ladies man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
You know,
Because the ladies love Pac, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. So I got to ask you this. When did you realize that Tupac was that special and will become a legend? At what point? Was it before he even got signed? Was it in the middle of a studio session? When?
Nah, I was waiting for my first record to come out. Feels Good. Shout out to Tony. And me and Pac was like, we need to start writing some music together. All right. So we was gonna write this song, right? And I was having writer's block, straight up. I finally got a verse down, finally got it down. And then we met up, he's like, all right, kick your shit. And, pardon me.
No, you good.
Kick
Give us
your
all.
shit.
We want all that.
We want all that.
And I dropped it, and then he kicked his. I was like, holy shit. Holy shit. I was like, whoa. Baby bro got the goods. All right, we rolling. We rolling like Bart, as they say in the Bay. So, yeah, that was yeah.
So it was
Early
that moment
days,
when he
early
spit
days.
that bar for you, you was like, yo, okay, this is special.
Yeah, because I knew he had been rapping, you know, with Strictly Dope. Shout out to Strictly Dope, you know, his early groups, and, you know, he was rapping in Atlanta as a young dude, because we came out of New York. You know, we were birthed into hip-hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were there at the birth of hip-hop, so it was in us. So, you know, we were just, I was just older, you know, and, yeah, man.
You were older, but who was more protective? Like, were you more protective of Pac, or was he more protective of you? Or was it both?
It was both, but Pac was more visible about it. He was more, you know, stern about it. You know, he was young.
Yeah.
He was learning how to handle them feelings. You know, get away from my brother.
I love it. Yeah, he was way protective of you.
Yeah, we was firing nice. He was the hot, I was the cool. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that worked for quite some time. But he was also a young man becoming a man.
Yeah.
That's true.
And neither one of us were full grown men yet. You know, we were
Right.
getting there, so it was a lot. It was a lot.
Now, you talked about being on stage with him and when you performed Keep Your Head Up and just the love that he received. Now, let's take it back, though, and let's talk about when you were in the studio with him. Is there one song that, you know, as soon as you hear it, it reminds you of being in the studio with Pac and being in there long hours, and you're like, yo, this song takes me back to that night in the studio?
Man, there's a lot of those, and there's a lot of different studios. I forgot the name of the studio, but we were listening to So Many Tears with Shaq. This record was finally done, and we all met up with Shaq at the studio, because Shaq, rest in peace, much love to Shaq and Digital. You know, because Shaq produced it, and once we heard it, it was like, oh my God. Did you hear that? You know, because it was so, you know, because we've been making music, the clarity, it was like
Right.
almost perfect.
Yeah.
Pac was perfect on it to us. It was like, oh my God, what is going to happen after this?
No,
You know what I mean?
He was perfect to the
When
world.
you hear So Many Tears, it wasn't a single like that, but that song was.
And it hit.
Yeah.
Like when you heard So Many Tears, you felt it. And it was relatable to everybody. And everybody could go back to that moment where you're like, man, I feel this. I went through the same bullshit. You feel me?
Yeah.
I would have loved to be in that session to hear that, man, because when we hear it now over and over again, we know what it does to us. But for that moment saying it's complete, run that back.
Yeah, and Shaq was a musician's musician. You know, he was playing them keys and playing them instruments. So, you know, he was real proud. He's, you know,
Dope. I love it.
yeah.
Mopreme, let me ask you, does it sometimes surprise you? Because, I mean, you're probably used to it already, but there has to be moments where you get this moment where you're like, yo, this is crazy. How the world still embraces your brother. How the world still loves him. How they keep him alive. He's got diehard fans. Diehard fans. And they still...
Machiavelli to Don till I'm gone. He maintained. You know why it's not that funny? Because he was saying this shit while he was alive.
Yeah,
he was telling us. We were talking about it to each other. Nigga, I'm a legend.
I heard that.
I'm putting in mine. You better put in yours, because I'm a legend already. You know what I mean? He was telling him. He's like, he knew he was going to pass early. You know, certain things he was preparing us for. He was a powerful spirit.
He was.
You dig?
And you're saying that, did you guys ever have that conversation? Like, and what was that like? Him saying, I'm not going to be here for a long time.
We had a lot of conversations. A lot of that was wrapped up in the lives we was living on the streets, being soldiers, coming from the revolution, seeing so many of our loved ones incarcerated, murdered, you know what I mean, set up, all kind of things. So, you know, the odds was against us.
Yeah.
Young black males. You know, Pac was always riding for the young black males. The poor, disenfranchised, black and brown, we got to stay down. You dig? So that's where it comes from, the hard living.
And you
we
know,
soldiers, we fight, we die.
when we always talk about Tupac, like there's one thing that always comes to my mind, and what it is that growing up listening to Tupac and bumping his music and watching his interviews and watching him on TV, he always spoke about social injustice. He always stuck up for black and brown. But what I loved about it was he said it in a way where we could understand what was going on in the world. And I love that. And it goes to show his intelligence, his passion, his character, and his straight up, he gave zero fucks. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I loved about Pac.
True indeed. True indeed. That's what that thug life was about. The common denominator was economics. There's poor people, disenfranchised people all over the globe. You know what I mean? We're just amongst the most famous of them. You know what I mean? We got to stick together if we want to ensure some type of survival for our kids. You know what I mean?
He's so fascinating. Like, Pac is so fascinating. We all miss him, and we all have our special moments about what we miss about Pac, but he's your brother. He's your little brother. Like, what is the one thing that you miss most about your brother?
Laughing. He was a funny dude. When and those good times and those good moments, we had fun. We had fun, you know. We did have fun. You know, Pac was Pac was funny.
He's a jokester.
It's hard. Maybe it's hard for some people to see, but through that, when you catch Pac on his good days, oh man, that's why, you know, you fall in love with the kid because everybody wanted to be around him because when those times were happening, it was on, it was popping, it was good. We going to the club, we going to drink, we going to smoke, we going to hang out. Then we going to the next club, then we going to the after party.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it ain't stop. Shit don't stop. Wrote the song about it. You know what I mean? We kept it moving.
Man, you definitely kept it moving. And you talk about his sense of humor, man. So was he more the jokester or he liked to receive the joke? Like, did he like when the joke was on him when y'all was like going at each other? Or
I don't see Pac liking the joke on him. I don't know though.
Nah, he ain't like the joke on him. No.
He likes the joke on others.
He's like, I'm not receiving, but I'm gonna give you these jokes.
Like, shout out to my man Big Country Style, with the black food truck 102nd in Vermont. My man Big Country Style. He was down with us, and that was like this. You know how in a crew there's one main person or two main people that always fuck with each other?
Yes.
That was him. Country call him Peanut Head. I call him Big Goat Mouth. And then it wouldn't stop, you know.
Oh, I love it. Let me ask you.
Shout out to my man Goat Mouth.
Before we wrap up this interview, what do you think about people? And I have a certain feeling about it. You know, there's a lot of people that say Pac is alive. And he's living somewhere off an island. And I feel like those are people that really love Tupac so much they can't let him go. And they're hanging on to him. And they're hanging on to any hope that they have. What do you say to those people?
Let him keep that.
Okay.
Let him keep that. That's what Pac talked about. This is what he wanted to do.
Yes.
This is what he wanted to do. This is the plan. That was the plan. You know what I mean? And he is alive. His spirit is always alive. As you see 20-some years later.